Saichelle, I mean, you had a lot of things coming at you, or you could have just crawled into a hole after the whole ordeal of having an offer rescinded, but you didn't, right? You
Right.
persevered and you had resilience.
Yes. And I think for me, any business owner that is successful or going to be successful, that is the thing. It is resiliency, right? It's grit, tenacity, and it's just an inner level it's an inner being that says, you know what, you can't quit. Can't quit, right? This is going to be something that someone else needs. Someone else needs to see it and they need to hear it. So for those people that you don't even know, you can't quit.
Bars.
Bars. Or, sometimes I do little snaps.
Bars.
There it is.
I needed to hear that today. Welcome to the Analytical Rewired, the best place to discuss various obstacles, limitations, challenges, behaviors, and how to overcome them in business. We deep dive into the complexities of people, processes, data, and technology, PPDT, adopting our focus to be either technical or creative expressions, and how to balance the two. The Analytical Rewired is brought to you by the MJW Group, a performance improvement and leadership development boutique management consulting firm that helps companies save time and money leveraging operational excellence. Our mission is to enable your organization to be more successful by refining overarching strategies into detailed plans to be implemented, generate creative and technical solutions for your operational challenges, augment and supplement your existing teams, and help you create processes that allow you to be more efficient with the resources you have. You can learn more about the MJW Group on our website at themjwgrp.com. Welcome to the Analytical Rewired. I'm your host, Jennifer White, CEO of the MJW Group, and I have my co-host here with me, Sarah Ashley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We're moving right along here. Spring has sprung finally, I think.
And it's going to stick this time.
I surely hope so. And our guest today knows all about weather. And at least me and her talk about the weather a lot. Whenever we meet up, it seems to be a topic of our conversation, along with 100 other things that she has going on. She always amazes me whenever we get together, and I just really adore her. Saichelle McNeill, how are you?
I'm so good. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks for the kind words.
You're welcome. We're excited to have you here today. I'm excited to dive in about how you got to where you are today, starting your company and learning more about your company, and the audience learning more about your company as well, because it's service-based, but also product-based, I would think. It's a little bit of both. So this is going to be interesting. So why don't you give the audience more detail about you, your background, who you are, what you stand for, purpose, all that.
All right. So that's a lot. I'm not that complicated. So my name is Saichelle McNeill. I own the WashRoom Laundry Service. We are a full service mobile laundry and dry cleaning delivery service. We service both residential and commercial clients in Charlotte and surrounding areas. We've been around since 2016. We have I think we have six employees, right? And I'm trying to keep up with them. And I hope they don't see that, but we have 6 employees and we're about to triple that number before the end of summer. That number will triple, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, big changes are coming around here.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yes, it is. Did I answer all of the questions? That was
Yeah,
it.
we'll dig into more.
I'm sure
Okay.
we'll circle back at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was filling Sarah in before, we hit record on how you and I met. Saichelle is very what's the word? To me, you're very extroverted. And I know I saw you speak at an event and I reached out to LinkedIn and she immediately was like, yes, let's meet up. Let's have intros. And one reason I think we did connect very well is because you have a background in operations.
That's
And of
right.
course, running a laundry service-based business, I would imagine you have to keep things in tip-top shape all the time.
Yes, for sure. So my background is manufacturing operations. I have just over 12 years of manufacturing experience with several big name companies. We won't name them here, but I probably earned my chops in operations of batteries or manufacturing batteries. I started off in a quality capacity, so like quality control, and it kind of morphed into operations supervision. And, with that comes, quality, safety, all of the things, right? And so I definitely bring that experience to my business because, when people ask me kind of what we do, yeah, I call myself the laundry lady. We are a laundry processing and delivery service, but I think at the end of the day, we're probably a logistics company, right? It is about picking up pieces from one place, bringing it to, I guess, drop ship for people who speak that language, and putting it back on another truck to take it back to the customer that it belongs to. So I'm a big old logistics person within operations, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I said earlier. I think it's like your business is to me, it's like twofold, right? Your service-based, right? Customer service is at the topmost priority for you guys, but also you got to make sure the product that is given to you by the customer gets back to the customer, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and that's awesome. So how did you transition from manufacturing
What I was
operations,
gonna ask. I was like, what an interesting.
that whole world to being the laundry lady?
So I have an interesting story, right? I am not an entrepreneur who started their business because I saw a need in the community and I was trying to, fill a need. I started my business because I was in need, right? It was out of necessity. I didn't have a job. So I think I shared this at the speaking engagement that I was at when I met Jennifer. And I was released from federal prison in 2015 in Charlotte. So prior to my incarceration, I was working in manufacturing. Upon my release, I thought that it would be easy for me to go back into manufacturing because, my crime wasn't related to work. And after, knocking on several doors, one finally opened for me with a manufacturing company local to the Charlotte metro area, and had a great interview. Everything was well. The next day, they extended the job offer to me. And the day before I was supposed to start that job, I get a knock at my door and I get a certified letter from the company saying that they were rescinding my job offer. I spoke with the HRBP and she told me that the reason for them rescinding my job offer was because she couldn't convince the leadership team to take a chance on me. And I was hurt. I didn't understand why it was a no. I thought I was just so close to, getting back on my feet and just doing what I like to do, what I was good at. And that just wasn't the route that the Lord had for me. And so I was telling a friend, hey, look, my prison hustle was taking people's laundry. And so there was a half a mile walk one way to take your laundry. And it wasn't anything attractive, right? Because it could get very cold, it could get very hot, raining, snowing, all of the things. No one wanted to do it. So the ladies would put their laundry in a bag and drop their bag off at my door like the night before in the morning. And so when I get up in the morning, I go to breakfast, I grab all the bags and I walk down half a mile and I drop some off. And then there's some that's ready to pick up. I pick those up, I mosey back up. And kind of throughout the day, that's what I did. And I was telling my friend this, and he's like, yo, that's it. You should do it. It was like, right? You know, like, I can't do that. What do you mean? My idea was not what we're doing right now. So that is the rewire, right?
Yeah.
But, and that's kind of how it started. A friend he gave me a van. He gave it to me and I was like, I can't take it. So I gave him $1 for it. And we used that van until we got a new one.
Awesome.
So that's how I got started into the laundry business.
I love it.
I do too.
I love that so much. I mean, we've talked about it several times on the show before, how life will always course correct you and put you kind of in the direction you're supposed to be going all along. And I think that's a prime example of it too.
For sure.
Yeah, I love hearing her story because I always have this belief, no matter the circumstances, anybody can change. If you want something bad enough and you put gazelle laser focus on it, you will achieve what you're trying to get to.
For sure.
And this is a good testament to that, because Saichelle, I mean, you had a lot of things coming at you, or you could have just crawled into a hole after the whole ordeal of having an offer rescinded, but you didn't, right? You
right.
persevered and you had resilience.
Yes. And I think for me, any business owner that is successful or going to be successful, that is the thing. It is resiliency, right? It's grit, it's tenacity, and it's just an inner level, or it's an inner being that says, you know what, you can't quit, right? This is going to be something that someone else needs to see it, and they need to hear it. So for those people that you don't even know, you can't quit.
Bars.
Bars. Or, sometimes I do little snaps.
Bars.
There it is.
I needed to hear that today, because I feel like the last 6 weeks of my life, I've just been treading through mud. I'm like, when am I going to get out of this mud?
It's coming. It's always like, just when you are at that point where you like, I quit, it's on the other side. But you'll never know that if you quit, right? And that's how I am. I'm like, I can't quit. It's something. I don't know what it is. I just can't quit yet, because I want to know what it is. I'm nosy.
I always feel like anytime I'm kind of in that realm, I call it survival mode.
Yes.
Anytime I'm in that survival mode, I do know, or I try to tell myself that there is something kind of on the other side of it to just kind of keep going, if you will. Because, it's there and I know it is. I'm like, it can't be this bad forever. I know that. Right. So I just kind of call it survival mode until I can kind of get to that other side of things.
For sure.
Exactly. So let's talk about your industry. I know you're very well connected here in Charlotte, even, other business owners in your same profession. So how have you seen the industry shift now? Because you're going on 7 years, as the laundry lady now.
So the business is taking a major shift. There are a lot of players coming into the business now. In 2016, when I started, it was get in, start your business, grind it out, grow your business. And then there comes this space where you're just kind of smooth sailing, right? But now the industry is shifting towards you grow your business by buying other companies, right? So you amass other companies to build your business. And that is the difference in the playing field now. People who have money, either coming in having money or have been in the industry and have money, they are looking to acquire smaller outfits.
That makes sense to me.
That's very different. It makes a lot of sense. But it's something that's very different for the industry, right? And the other thing that's shifting in the laundry industry is that more laundromats are coming on board. So newer laundromats that are technologically improved, right? So you can start a washer or a dryer from your phone. There are programming for kids at laundromats, reading centers, centers that keep kids entertained because of the amount of time that families spend in the laundromats, right? It's a place where you can go to buy books, get books, right? It's almost a community establishment. It is now what barbershops used to be, the laundromat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't even think about it that way, but I guess you're right. Because I've had to go a time or two. And I remember younger, my mom and dad, we went all the time. I actually had a freak accident at one doing a cartwheel and cracked my forehead.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
So we won't talk about that now. But yeah, you're right. I remember me and my brother playing, even back then, like we would play around, we would talk to the other kids that was there. Parents would, talk to each other. And it did have that community essence and feel. And I'm so glad to hear that it's kind of like anteed up now because of technology, which is interesting because everyone we talk with, technology has improved our quality of life, right? And there's no way to get around it. Like it's here to stay and it's going to continue more and more and more in our lives.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm reading about in the industry, I'm a part of industry organizations, right? The Coin Laundry Association, DLI, Dry Cleaning and Laundry Institute. And some of the things that I'm reading now is around social services coming to laundromats for the people that need those services, right? In the past, you have to go to certain places to get services. Now these service providers understand that their client or their target market is hanging out at these laundromats, and that's where they're going to service them at.
Wow.
So I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. I think this is a whole new world for me because I didn't really know much about it, but I'm loving it.
Yes. It is something now. It's kind of glamorous, right? You go into some of these laundromats and it's a place like, wow, it's a shock compared to what you've seen in the past, right? The seating is more comfortable, right? I remember going to the laundromat as a kid. No fun. In my house, it was strange because we had a washing machine, but no dryer. So we used we hung clothes out on a clothesline. Yes. I don't think anyone even knows what a clothesline is anymore. Standard with your, right? It used to be a standard
with the clothespin.
Yes. Yeah, with the clothespin. No more. You have to know that you want a clothesline. I don't know who wants one because you don't need one. You just call the WashRoom Laundry Service.
That's right.
You, right?
We will keep those obsolete.
That's
because
right.
They're calling you.
Yes. And even if you have a washer and a dryer at your home, it's just for show. Call us. You don't want to.
Honestly, I feel that very much because I hate doing laundry.
Yes, and it is the number one hated chore. No one likes to do laundry. 9 out of 10 people will tell you that they do not want to do laundry for one reason or another. I'm not one of those people. I love laundry, right?
Of course.
I would hope so.
Yes, and everybody on my team loves laundry.
Awesome.
I mean, seriously loves laundry.
Yeah.
Now, I will admit that I have a hard time putting it away, but
that's my issue, is that I'm really bad at putting it away. I'll fold it and I'm like in the mood and I'll fold it and I'm like, yay, I did my laundry. But then it just sits in nice and neat piles.
yes,
But they just sit there and I'm like, well, I guess I could just grab it from here and put it on because it's clean.
There you go.
And it never actually makes it to my closet.
I'm interested to know, as we wrap up here, if there's any like horrific kind of stories you have.
Ooh.
Or like something you see, you're like, oh my God, it can make like a juicy novel or movie. Because you see everybody's laundry. You're like, what is going on?
Quite literally, everyone's dirty laundry.
Everyone's dirty laundry. And so this is what I'll share with you, because we're all ladies on this show today. And this is funny. So what I didn't share is, prior to, the WashRoom Laundry Service being fully mobile, we had a brick and mortar dry cleaners out in East Charlotte, right? And in that dry cleaners, I had a seamstress. And so we did all sorts of repairs, alterations for our clients. And one of the things that is the most interesting is, for some women, when we put our pants on, right, we have a little bit of friction in the thigh area. Mm-hmm. And so what happens in our garments is, when you have that friction, it causes the garments or the material to weaken. And so once it starts to weaken, you start seeing those little balls, the pilling, right? And after the pilling, then you start seeing little tears, right? And some people will easily just throw that away, right? Other people say, hey, these are my best jeans. These are my mom jeans. I love them. I am not parting with them. And so I'm going to take them to my local dry cleaner so that I can have them repaired. And there was this one particular person that would bring these same pairs of jeans, like 3 pair, and in the same area with the same thing going on with the holes. They would bring them for us to repair them. And my seamstress, she was like, no, you throw away. You throw away now. And I was like, I can't tell the client to throw her jeans away. We just need to fix it. She's like, no, we fixed already 4 times. Just throw it away. And so that is probably the strangest, weirdest thing that I've encountered, because it seems easy for me to say, okay, I'm going to throw these jeans away, but maybe not so much everyone else. And so we bought a lot of patches at this store, is all I'm going to say.
I'm going to say, how do you even, because the material, I know what you're talking about, because I have thunder dyes, right?
Thunder.
So the material it weakens, right?
It
because the fabrics of clothing that we had years ago is not the same now. Like, I have stuff that I've had since I was a teenager.
Right.
Because if you try to go find it now, it's not the same material. It's like cheap material, like the fast fashion. Like, you're supposed to go through this like really quick so you can buy more and more clothes. It doesn't last as long.
For sure. And that's one of the things that, as a dry cleaner, a laundry person, we deal with clothes all day. We spend a lot of time looking at the care label inside of the garments. And one of the things that we've noticed over the years, even, since we've been in business, is that the way that clothes are made now is very different. A lot of the material is very, very cheap. And a lot of times now we have garments from higher end companies that no longer put a care label in there, because they can't give you care instructions, because the material is not a polyester, or it's not solely a linen piece of material. It's a hybrid of all of the
different stuff. Yeah. Right. I noticed that too, that a lot of clothes started to be multiple different types of fabric. Like, I was looking, I used to have my own store, and I was did the e-commerce for it, and so I would always look at the care label to put that information in the descriptions, and I was like, polyurethane. It's like, why is it in a shirt?
Catch on fire.
Right. So now they just don't even put the care label in there. They will have, of course, the size and some other writing that you don't even know what it is. But in terms of how to care for the garment, it's nothing there.
Correct.
And that takes the ownership away from them if the garment is not handled properly, right? It puts it on the individual.
Right. Okay.
All I have.
No, that's good to know, because I think now, because we live in this microwave popcorn, I gotta get it fast. It's like the things that we used to do or care about back in the day. It's even hard to find seamstresses anymore. I do have one that I go to, and I get my clothing laundered there. Is my dry cleaning as well, but it's hard to find anybody that does that anymore, because the clothes is not worth the price that you pay to have it alterations done outweighs the costs of what you paid for the garment.
It is. And to take it a step further, a seamstress, someone who sews and makes garments, that is something of the past, right? So families they don't have a cousin or a sister or a grandmother who sews to make them clothes anymore. It's just easier to go out and buy it. That the art of sewing is not even something that people really know about, unless, of course, they're interested in clothing lines and clothing and being part of those kinds of organizations. Hell, I mean, you have people now who have clothing lines and they don't sew. Like, how do you do that?
How is that yours?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember back when I was younger, we used to go buy the patterns
right.
and then take them and get clothes made a lot of the times. And I remember, I think it was when I was in high school, middle school or high school-ish, when we just like stopped doing that and we went to the mall and started buying things instead. And I was like, but why? We used to be able to have such, like, I could pick the fabric out and everything, but so it would be my own thing. But we had and I grew up in South Georgia, so and I had one specific person that I worked with all the time that I would take stuff like these patterns to, and I would be like, do it, please.
Yes.
And it was always such a fun little experience. It would just be me and my mom. We brought several different types of fabric to see which one she thought would do better with it. I think we just completely stopped that in like middle school.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, my grandmother was a seamstress, right? I grew up with my grandmother making my dresses. We're going into Easter. My grandmother used to make my Easter dresses. We used to do something called an Easter Monday, right? And she would make my little Easter Monday kind of outfit. So I know exactly what you're talking about, going out, picking out those
the patterns,
materials and the patterns, and watching her cut, get on the line. And it's an art, and we don't have it anymore.
It's sad. All we have is the memories.
This conversation unlocked a memory. I completely forgot about that. I used to do that.
So, Saichelle, as we wrap up today, is there anything you want to leave the audience with? Tips, tricks, maybe you have a discount code. Also, where can everyone find you? How can they reach out to you?
All right. So the easiest one is you can reach out to us. You can find us on LinkedIn, right? At washroomlaundry.com. All of the social channels, Facebook, Instagram, at washroomlaundry.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, Saichelle McNeill. I'm happy to, answer any questions that I can about, laundry, laundry life, business. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. As far as a discount code, we have created a discount code for the Rewired podcast and your audience. The code is Rewired, and that is for 20% off of your first wash with us. And that is for wash and fold at the regular rate only. And as far as what I'd like to leave with people it is this, I wake up every day and I'm hoping that I can help someone else, right? And because I have that spirit, I'm always pretty much a happy person, right? So I hope that I can impart with the audience today that being happy not only serves us, but it serves everyone else, because who doesn't like working with, talking to, dealing with a happy person? I don't know anybody that can raise their hand on it. And that's all I got.
Bars.
Bars. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I don't have anything else to say. We'll just end it there. Thank you, Saichelle, for being
wrap.
our guest on the Analytical Rewired today. Now you see why I said every time I just adore her, because every time we get together, I'm just like,
oh,
I'm just soaking it all up. So yeah, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. We appreciate you. Everyone, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.